Is your roof suitable for a loft conversion? I'm Dave, founder at Archiplan. We simplify architectural design for homeowners. The first thing you're going to want to do is get up in that roof space with a tape measure and work out what is the highest measurement you can take in there from wood to wood. So that's essentially from the top of the ceiling joist to the underside of the ridge. We say at Archiplan, if you've got 2.35 meters, then we're going to be able to convert that into something usable and comfortable. If you've got less than that, there are still a couple of other options. You could potentially apply for planning permission to raise the ridge of the roof up. This is unlikely to be approved unless you're in a detached house, and even in a detached house, the planners don't much like raising houses higher than they originally are, so just bear that in mind. If you've got generous head height on your existing top floor rooms, you could actually lower the ceilings down in those rooms, and that'll give you the additional height requirement that's needed in the loft. That's obviously going to add expense and disruption, so just bear that in mind. What style roof do you have on your house? If you've got a gable roof over your existing house, that's going to lend itself well to a new staircase going in above your existing stairs. If you've got a hipped roof, there's not going to be sufficient head height above the new staircase, so it's going to need to be converted into a gable style roof before you convert it. That's obviously going to add more expense, so another thing to bear in mind. Now, most properties in the UK, we can convert a loft without planning permission. There are some properties that have restrictions on them, listed buildings obviously, houses in a conservation area, areas of outstanding natural beauty, or there's also something called an Article 4 direction, which is registered against a ton of properties, and it means that the permitted development rights have been removed or severely restricted. More often than not, a loft conversion is going to need planning permission in those houses. Just a few tips. It could be useful to see what sort of space you could create up in the loft by taking a tape measure or maybe a stick that's just 1.5 meters tall and just walk around with that and see. Though you can't stand up in a 1.5 meter high space, 1.5 meters is normally sufficient to potentially put a headboard under, a toilet, a chest of drawers. So every part of that existing roof that has 1.5 meters existing height in it is going to be usable in the end room. Another thing to consider is that to meet the fire regulations, you're actually going to have to put fire doors on all your existing rooms on the first floor and the ground floor, so that you have a safe passage all the way from the loft conversion room down to the front door of the house. So if you've got any open plan areas at all that you want to maintain on the ground floor, you're actually going to need to install a misting or a sprinkler system, which is going to add more expense. So it's just another thing to consider at this early stage. Lastly, if you live in a really old house, there's the potential that adding the extra load into the roof is going to mean that there needs to be structural improvements made further down the house. So potentially on the ground or first floor, you may need additional steelwork. Regardless of whether the loft needs planning permission, you're still going to need building control approval, detailed drawings to give to a builder, and structural engineer's calculations. At Archiplan, all of that falls under our premium package, so take a look there. I hope that's been useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.